What's going on, Magic fans? Coming at you for a quick kind of emergency segment here for you. Shitty day for the Orlando Magic and the Magic fans. It was just announced within the hour that Franz Wagner has been diagnosed with a torn right oblique, the same injury that Paulo Bencaro had about 5 weeks ago. The post itself, Franz Wagner has been diagnosed with a torn right oblique. Wagner will be out indefinitely, and his return to play will depend on how he responds to treatment. He will be re-evaluated in 4 weeks. Okay, let's just break this down for a minute. It's not good. It's not fun. The Magic just got off what I would call a successful road trip. 5 games. They went 3-2. And Franz gets injured on the last game of this road trip versus the 76ers, which was a pretty physical game. You could tell, I think if I had to guess, it happened in the third quarter. You could tell there was a moment where he kept grabbing his side, his ribs, kind of similar fashion to what happened with Paulo Bencaro during the Chicago Bulls game when he got injured. Franz played through it. He played the rest of the game. And then we get this news today. Again, this is like cookie cutter copy from what happened with Paulo when they played the Chicago Bulls, in style of how he got the injury, within the third, fourth quarter, playing through it. And then the next day we get this devastating news. Just not fun. There's so many things to think about, right? There's the game tomorrow, Sunday, versus the Phoenix Suns. That's hard to think about. Then on Tuesday, we have the in-season cup game versus the Bucks, who the Bucks are rolling. It's just like hard for me to even process, like, are any of these games realistic? I'm not envying Coach Mosley today, trying to figure out what they do in the starting lineup to figure out some playmaking. My initial thoughts are, is this the time to bring Cole Anthony, give him a big role, let him be a shot creator and a shot taker, and try and let him figure out his stuff and just kind of generate offense? Right now, the most consistent scorer in the lineup is Mo Wagner. And he's the bench unit. He is obviously not, I don't think they would bring him up. You need someone who can handle the ball and play make. So in my opinion, it's either Cole Anthony or Anthony Black. One of those two will have to come up into the starting unit. And yeah, it's just, I'm still processing. This is very much, you're getting my live thoughts right now. It's confusing. It's complicated. I'm not sure what the move is. Now, I will say this, a couple silver linings. They used language that he'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. For Paulo Bencaro, they used language he was evaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. That hopefully being pretty sturdy with that 4-week marks makes me think that maybe this isn't as bad as Paulo's. The other good news is we got reports this morning that Paulo had started to be ramping up his on-court routine a bit more. He started doing light stretches a few weeks ago. It came out that he has been doing some more shooting drills and getting shots up. So I'm hoping that is close. He's close to returning. I look at the Magic schedule right now, and it's a little chaotic. So on Sunday the 8th, they play the Phoenix Suns. Then they go on the road to the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday, December 10th. Then they from the 19th through December 29th, they have a 6-game homestand. I'm thinking that is the window we could see Paulo Bencaro come back. 6 games at home. That's a lot of time for a lot of treatment, a lot of evaluation, a lot of time for Paulo to get in different types of workouts and rehabilitation to ramp himself back up, not having to travel from different cities, staying in different hotels, being in different training centers. So I'm hoping that with it being around 5 weeks now and getting the reports that he's starting to do more on the court, that this is the window we could see him return in. If we're doing 4 weeks from today for a reevaluation, that brings us to January 6th to January 9th time frame. It's the 7th right now. I'm saying the 6th and the 7th, 9th, because those are game days. The 6th, Magic in New York. The 9th, back home versus the Timberwolves, and there's a little 3-game homestand. Now, I don't expect Franz to be necessarily back in 4 weeks. I'm looking at the schedule, and it's just kind of in January. There's not really a huge homestand. Between the 9th and the 12th, they have a 3-game homestand. Then they hit the road again for the Bucks, Celtics. Then back home on the 19th versus the Nuggets. That potentially could be a time frame. But yeah, then they kind of like they don't really have a good stretch in January where they're home for more than 3 games. It's very play a game at home, go on the road for a game, play a game or 2 at home, go on the road for a game or 2. It's not very like long term. There's no really good home stands in January. So that makes me a little nervous. It's not impossible that Franz could come back on the on a road trip, but it always seems a little bit more likely with these more serious injuries that they return, at home. At least in my perspective, I could be way off. I haven't necessarily tracked this too well. I'm trying to think, when did Wendell Carter Jr. come back? What game, and was it on the road? Give me a second as I look this up on Basketball Reference real quick. Wendell Carter Jr. He came, he missed quite a bit of time. And let's see, I'm pulling it up right now. Thank you for your patience as I figure this out. He came back at home. His first game back was at home versus Chicago. No, Charlotte, sorry. Okay, so that is something there. Yeah, this is hard to process. I'm planning to do a bigger podcast here shortly, later tonight, nailing that down, have a little bit more research done at this point, but this sucks, guys. This really sucks. We'll have to see how Coach Mosley and the team respond tomorrow with the different lineup adjustments, who's going to be generating offense, who's going to be like the lead ball handler. Obviously, we're going to see a lot more of the ball within Suggs' hands, probably in the starting unit, whoever is playing next to him, whether that's Anthony Black or Cole Anthony. And we got to hope some guys start stepping up and knocking down shots. We need Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to start hitting some shots again. We need Wendell Carter Jr. to continue to find himself offensively a bit more, start finding his shot from 3 again. You know that he's going to continue to be asked to shoot from 3, particularly with Franz being out. He needs to be able to do that. Obviously, Tristan Silva is still going to be a major factor in the rotation right now. So until Paulo gets back, it's going to be a bit streaky. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach does some different lineup experimentations over the next couple of games to see what's going to work and what doesn't going to work. That's going to wrap up my quick emergency podcast segment real quick. We'll come back to you more later tonight or tomorrow with a longer segment. And then, of course, you'll catch my regular close-up podcast that I've pre-recorded. I had a great guest this week, actually. It's going to be coming out on Tuesday or Monday. So you'll get a lot of content between now and next week with stuff touching on Franz, touching on the team, and then, of course, our regular shows. So that's going to wrap it up for me today, part of the close-up on Orlando Magic HQ. Stay tapped in with us, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Go Magic!